Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakakadash. Double honors to the elders, preaching this word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching this word truthfully and sincerely. And I say shalom to you Akim out there. And this is a news article. This was recently from RT.com, alternative world news around the world, as of January 18th, 2023. And it reads, Taipei warns of worst case scenario in a standoff with Beijing. And you know, that goes into the wars or rumors of wars, because in the last days you was going to hear about wars or rumors of wars, which I'm going to bring that scripture out as well too, because you was going to have wars and rumors of wars between the different nations and different kingdoms as well too. And I'm going to read it. It says Taipei warns of worst case scenario in standoff with Beijing. And it says China might take Taiwan its scapegoat if it fails to notch other wins, a foreign minister claims. It says Beijing is now more likely to attack Taiwan in the years to come. I mean, probably even closer than that, you know. Gotta weigh these rumors of wars heating up, sure. It says Joseph Wu, the foreign minister of the self-governing island, warns on Wednesday and word President Xi Jinping to do so. It might be an attempt to take the public eye off domestic problems, he added. It says, speaking to Sky News, Wu noted that the situation around the island in the last year compared to the previous years is much worse. Right, because I did a lesson about what the current tensions of the South China Sea and the Indo-Pacific thing as well too, because you had many nations are fighting over claiming islands as well too. Like the countries, I can name a few. I don't know all of them. I believe it's Vietnam, Malaysia, Beijing, and other countries as well too. So you got tensions with that as well too. So I just want to add a note to that. It says, speaking to the Sky News, Wu noted that the situation around the island in the last year comparing to the two previous years is much, much worse. However, he also pointed out, to me, 2027 is the year that we need to watch out for. Now, 2023 is going to be 2023 is the year to watch out for, not 2027. Like I mentioned before, had a way to wars and rumors of wars heating up, and the nations against nations heating up. Hey, it might be closer than ever. You know, Lord willing, you know, I don't want to rot this out. It says, I'm going to read it again. However, he also pointed out that to me, 2027 is the year that we need to watch out for. The minister explains 27 is the year Xi Jinping will likely to enter his fourth term. This is like a political thing. But then again, a war as well too, you know. A war stirring up between the nations as well too, you know. You can put it in that perspective as well too, even though he's talking about politics or whatever. But continue on with the reading. It says the minister explained 27 is the year Xi Jinping will likely enter his fourth term. If in his previous 3 terms he cannot claim any achievements during his office, he might need to think about something else for him to claim as his achievements or his legacy, Wu explained. Against this backdrop, Wu is fearful that Taiwan might become his scapegoat. According to the minister, Xi might want to resort to using a force or creating a crisis internally to divert attentions or to show to the Chinese that he has accomplished something. It says the Taiwanese foreign minister also stated that the worst case scenario in the terms of a standoff with Beijing have become more likely, citing the increase of Chinese military activity around the island. As very often you see how the sums of a tiny little incident might spark into a major war. Yeah, that's true. He admitted it. It says the minister's remarks come last month. Taiwan's president Tsai Ing-wen announced that the islands will extend the compulsory military service for our 4 months to a year starting in 2024, blaming Beijing for immediate and threats against Taiwan for the decision. China denounced the move and warning that it will only lead to the island's population being used as a cannon fodder, if I pronounced that right, Salaki, to support Taipei's separatist ambitions. In October, Xi stated that although Beijing is seeking peace, reunification with Taiwan, which I highly doubt, it says it will never promise to give up the use of force while reserving the option to take all necessary measures to achieve the goal. I mean, not when you got the United States in the way, helping Taiwan. It says, even though they're under that one China policy, it says Beijing considers Taiwan to be sovereign. It says Chinese territories under its one China policy. The island has been ruled by the nationalists since 1949 when they fled the mainland with the U.S. help after losing the Chinese Civil War to the communists. Bring out that Matthews, Salaki. This is the book of Matthew 24:6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet, right? Because we're seeing a continual increasing of these wars and rumors of wars, just like the China versus Taiwan, and Taiwan allied with the United States against China, over the South China Sea. And then you got the island disputes of many nations claiming islands. You got tensions going to stir up of that as well too. So that's why in the latter days, that's why I brought out in the book of Matthew 24:6. Yahweh Shai said he was going to hear these wars and rumors of wars. And this is Matthew 24:7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, which we're seeing right now. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. And this is the book of Luke 21:9, right? Because we're going to see these nations are rising up against one another. And that's what we're seeing. Increasingly, even more. Luke 21:9 is a precept. It says, but when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. Right, because these things are going to continue to increase, and these things are going to come to pass. These, like I mentioned before, the wars and rumors of wars, nations rising up against nations, and proxy wars and rumors of wars, commotions of wars between the nations and different kingdoms. And so with that, hopefully this lesson was edifying of this recent news article that I just brought out. It has a lot to do with politics as well too. Then at the same time of nations going against one another with the current situation of tensions over the South China Sea and different parts of island disputes and island claims as well too, between the different nations as well too. As you see right here, as of January 2023, RT.com, world news, alternative world news around the world, as it's stated right here, Taipei warns of a worst case scenario in standoff with Beijing. And that's if it's from a political standpoint, war type tactics, and over the South China Sea as well too. You know. And so with that, hopefully this lesson was edifying, as I mentioned before. And I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Karkadash. Double honors to the elders who preaching this word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And I say shalom.